You know how they say breakfast is the most important meal of the day? Well, what if I told you that I have found a snack you can have right before bed that is even better for you? That's right. It's called the Ignatian Examen. It is another prayer practice. It's another tool, like we've been talking about, that will help you grow closer to God over time of doing it repeatedly. Now, it's called the Ignatian Examen because it was created by this man named Ignatius of Loyola, who was around in the 16th century and created the Jesuit order of priests. And there's a Jesuit priest named Mark Thibodeaux who's created this little fun book called Reimagining the Ignatian Examen. Now, this is another practice. It's called the examen because what you're doing is you're actually examining, you're taking stock of what has happened in your heart and your soul and your body throughout the day. And you're basically reviewing it. It's a chance for you to sit down and systematically think through the day, not just in a purely analytical way, but in a way of kind of offering it up spiritually to God to say, like, this is what I've done and this is who I am and this is where I've been today. I found this to be an incredibly helpful practice. Admittedly, I have not done it in a while, and I gave this book to my buddy a number of years ago, and it's just I found it as a helpful tool, and I think that it's something that might have some benefit for us today as we are quarantined at home and we're interacting with family and friends and even people over the internet. So Thibodeaux explains it with the 5 R's. He says, first, you relish the good, you request the Spirit, you review the day, you repent from any wrongdoing, and you resolve to live well tomorrow. You relish, you request, you review, you repent, and you resolve. Now, the idea is that this is something, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes you take before bed. You can also do it in the morning. You could break up your day and do it in the middle of the day. You could do it twice a day. Go crazy with it. But the idea is you're actually able to sit, to think. You remember all the good things that have happened. You thank God for them. Thank you for a ray of sunshine, for a nice walk, for a good chat with a friend. And then you request God in that time. You say, God, I pray that you'd be with me. I pray this isn't just me kind of spouting off whatever's in my mind, that you would be here, your Spirit would lead me. And then third, you review the day. You remember all the things that have happened. Maybe you think about hour by hour, or maybe meal by meal, or conversation by conversation. You go systematically through your day and you think about what's happened. Fourth, you will repent. You think about things, oh man, I didn't really kill it in that today. I really need to maybe review that. Man, maybe the way I said that to my friend was a bit unkind, or maybe my tone with my kids was a bit harsh, or maybe I said something I kind of regret that. I'm sorry, I repent. And then finally, you resolve to live differently tomorrow. Now, what this does over time is that it actually creates in you a spirit of examining your heart and your soul as you go throughout your day, which, again, as you continue to practice this, will then create in you a different and new spirit, which will help you to love and live differently in the present moment. So it kind of sits here in your mind as you go to bed, and when you wake up, it becomes something that is really lovely. You can begin to really engage with and move forward with God in this time. So again, here's another practice. I'm trying to keep this brief for you guys. This book I'll link. It's helpful. They have a bunch of different types of examens. There are different ways of examining and thinking. The one I've given you is a more traditional Ignatian Examen. But honestly, you could just Google search Ignatian Examen and you'd have a bunch of different types. I think it's a helpful practice. I tend to write in a little journal. So if you want to write them, maybe you just want to speak them out loud. If you want to record them, that's fine. It's just a time for you to process and think and invite God into those moments and say, I want to live with you, God, all the time. And I want to do my best, but I want to accept your grace. And I pray that your love would continue to change me. The Ignatian Examen. Give it a shot.